Welcome one, welcome all, and welcome to a Doctor Who honest review of 2021's New Year's Day special, Revolution of the Daleks. There's going to be some spoilers ahead, so get ready and let's jump right into it. So, Doctor Who's back after a long break. Again, probably needed it as well considering the cliffhanger it left us on with the Series 12 finale, The Timeless Children. If you're watching this honest review, then you're probably one of the very few people who decided to stick with the show after that twist. The Doctor's lived thousands more lives than she realised, she wasn't born on Gallifrey, she's from some unknown part of the universe where regeneration was a power, and then the Gallifreyans spliced her regeneration ability with her own species, so basically the Doctor's a god who literally created the Time Lords. Chris Chibnall has completely demystified the show's legendary mechanics and turned away fans in their droves, as if he hadn't already. Now, the female Doctor argument is something that I've completely gotten over. I don't mind Jodie in the role conceptually or even performance-wise. It's the scripting that sorely let her down yet again, and her personality and quirks just feel like she's copying other Doctors rather than carving a path for her own mannerisms. Then with Series 11, they chose to include only brand new monsters, which conceptually was a great idea, because having either the Daleks, the Cybermen, or the Master as the big bad at the end of every series was just becoming tiresome, so bringing in new creations was a great idea, if it had been done properly. We were left with so many half-baked or uninspired creations. I mean, seriously, what were they thinking with Tim Shaw? Tim Shaw! So alas, they kind of backed themselves into a corner in fear with the ratings going down, and for Series 12, here you go, the Master again, and the Cybermen again, and the Jadoon again, a new mystery Doctor again, Captain Jack again, the finale's on Gallifrey again, and we completely bastardized the show's lore. Yeah, that's been happening pretty much since 2005 to be honest, but now the wait is finally over. Brand new Doctor Who, we get the Daleks again, and Captain Jack again. Not gonna lie, it's lovely to see John Barrowman back after last appearing on screen as Jack in the divisive Torchwood Miracle Day back in 2011, and I was a huge fan of Torchwood, so it is really lovely having him back, but it just feels like a panic strategy. The show's struggling to craft new beloved characters of its own, so they're relying on beloved characters created by showrunners gone by. Even having the Daleks back is just a bit clickbait. Last New Year's special, Resolution, we had the Daleks. Why not change it up this time round? Because Daleks get viewers, and last time they were a bit of a surprise. They weren't advertised beforehand, I don't think, from memory, so it was quite cool to see them pop in there. But here, the team have been banking on getting new viewers with Revolution of the Daleks. I mean, even the meme is emulating classic Dalek stories. So we left off Series 12 with the Doctor now shocked to learn her true identity. She's locked up in a prison separated from the fam, which I really detest as a name, by the way. Let's find out what happened next.
Later that same evening.
Nice Star Wars ripoff intro, bro. So right away we get into me going back into my classic new series Whovian mind state of every tiny thing not making a lick of sense. We are transported back to Resolution as a refresher of what happened with the reconnaissance Dalek, and discover that soon after this deadly lethal killing machine broke into GCHQ and nearly caused utter chaos, destruction and death, two people show up with some bungee cords and chuck it into the back of a lorry. Amazing security measures for this unknown threat to humanity, guys. Then the driver just so happens to luckily stop off at the exact roadside burger van and happens to ask for a cup of tea, which is poison to knock him out so the Dalek can be stolen. Right off the bat, the lack of believability is crazy. You're telling me that this weapon of potential mass destruction of alien origin is put into the hands of a bloke with some cables wrapped around it is ridiculous. Though it's not as ridiculous as the appearance of Donald Trump parody man. Again, I can't even remember his name from the last time. He was a pointless and irritating character that had no right to return to the show whatsoever. But at least we get Curtis from Misfits here, which is a small bonus. We then learn that Trump Man and Curtis wanted the Dalek shell for, ready, to replicate it and use it for riot control. What? I mean, don't get me wrong, it is quite clever how it's integrated, as it's a completely stupid and reckless bit of decision making, but it's being done by a completely stupid and reckless character based on a completely stupid and reckless man. So it has narrative sense, but I still can't help but find it overwhelmingly ridiculous that a piece of advanced alien technology broke its way into GCHQ, and yet it was decided, oh yeah, we need some more of these, but this time with water cannons on them. So what about the Doc? She's busy walking through space jail, aka the Fanwank Kingdom, where she bumps into some legendary monsters of old to make some fans go, ooh, I remember them. We get a Weeping Angel, a Nude, everyone's favourite new series monster, the Pating. No? But we do get a segment that I did actually quite like, where she comes across one of the Silents and says, I forgot you were here. That did get a chuckle. But this whole section for me was just, right lads, we've got some old costumes locked up in storage, may as well get a little bit of use out of them for some oohs and ahs from the fans. That's the only reason, because none of these alien inmates do anything else other than just sort of stand there looking pretty. And throughout the episode we do get a bit more fan-wanky with references to the Squareness Gun, the Vortex Manipulator, Rose, Gwen Cooper, the Beauchene Peninsula. It just feels a bit tedious sometimes to me when the scriptwriters just insert references to other episodes here and there for no other reason than fans to get a bit of a nostalgic pop. In present day, Yaz has been doing something. Yeah, she's been doing something. In Series 11, she was a huge waste of time and space, no pun intended. In Series 12, she definitely stepped up and got progressively more involved. And apart from a really heavily shoehorned speech from Graham about how wonderful she is at the end of Series 12, she definitely has improved. But for me, Yaz was this episode's greatest strength and shone more than any other cast member. Since losing contact with the Doctor, which to her and the TARDIS crew was 10 months ago, she's been trying to work out how the alternate TARDIS works. She's littered it with clues, ideas and notes about her investigations as she tries to uncover any kind of link to locating the Doctor. Graham and Ryan on the other hand have been doing next to nothing, so I admired Yaz's determination here. Then when the Doctor finally does reunite with everyone, Yaz pushed the Doctor teary-eyed away and says that she was worried about her, while Graham and Ryan just sort of stand there aimlessly. She's the only character who acts emotionally on the topic of the Doctor throughout, and I can see the potential of Mandip Gill as an actress more now. Hopefully a less crowded TARDIS team will allow a bit more of a spotlight on her in Series 13. Before going back to the Dalek side of the story, while on the TARDIS team topic, I'll sum up my feelings on Ryan and Graham and their departure. So Graham in this episode does bugger all of worth or memory, apart from a cringe-worthy scene where he tries to talk street for no apparent reason. In general, I've enjoyed Bradley Walsh being in the show, and his character arc that began in Series 11 was solid. Loses his wife, he's recovered from cancer, there's some weight to his character, but that's pretty much been completely forgotten about and glazed over with the odd single scene of dialogue here and there, reminding you that's his character arc. Moving on to Ryan, good lord, he was insufferable in this episode. His character arc started with his dyspraxia, looked like it could have gone somewhere, it's brought up in the last scene of the episode, and other than that, it's barely touched upon. Then his character in this episode is so dislikable, I am genuinely happy he's gone. He's a massive dickhead to the Doctor over the 10 months waiting time, and is hugely hypocritical, saying, we've known each other for long enough now. So if you've known each other for long enough now, why are you being an arsehole? You know these kind of things can happen, and it's more than likely not her fault. On top of that, his line delivery in this episode is worse than ever. It's like he's just given up on the show and the character. And in the final goodbye scene, after Graham's given this quite touching speech about how he doesn't want to miss out on his time with Ryan, his family, his grandson, Ryan gets in a huff, saying, oh, it's just I thought I had a place in myself. This is so selfish, and littered throughout Series 12, and at the end of this episode here, he delivers the whole, do you know who I am? I'm Ryan Sinclair. Me and my mates, yeah, etc, etc. I don't find any kind of appreciation for this character when he's being a total bellend to everyone suddenly. So I'm glad he's gone. Oh, and just to stick this point in, with Bradley Walsh coming on board to get a popular entertainer, to get some new viewers, yeah, you know how that plan didn't really work? Let's get a less popular entertainer that's not as good of an actor to get some new viewers. Oh, I do like John Bishop, but lads, you've tried this concept already and it didn't really make a difference. Oh well, something to look forward to. Anyway, right, that's character out the way with, so back to the plot. Jack saves the Doctor from the space prison. In this episode, he's actually just there for giggles really, a few cool scenes, but generally just a bit of a vehicle to get some more viewers and spend some time with Yaz to give her a bit of a character boost. After the team have reunited, we get get back to Curtis, who's not only rebuilt the reconnaissance Dalek technology-wise, he found organic tissue remnants in the original casing and cloned it into a Dalek mutant. Want to get back to those grade A security measures, lads? Alright then, after being instructed to destroy the creature, he single-handedly carries it to a furnace and opens the case to throw it in the fire. You could do anything. Crush the fucking case. Wear some sort of protective outfit. Get some guards to accompany you. Don't just open up this clone of an unknown alien creature with your bare hands, you fucking lunatic. So then, obviously, the Dalek mutant jumps on Curtis's back to take control of him, grows shitloads more Dalek clones, teleports them inside the newly built Dalek casings, which, by the way, I'm not keen on the new design, but at least narratively it makes sense why they look like the Dalek from Resolution. And then Daleks taking over. Genius plan of wanting to take over the Earth, use it as a base to take over the galaxy, because that's original. And from then on out, we get one of the most idiotic plots the Doctor has ever devised. Right. To get rid of these new Daleks, she summons a fleet of ultra-deadly Daleks, literally called a Dalek Death Squad, to eradicate the new Daleks, and then basically, we'll see from there. You've just brought a massively overpowered branch of the Dalek forces to Earth, which could potentially get even more innocent people killed, instead of just cutting them out the equation completely, and just taking out the new Daleks instead. The Doctor even says, even if we blow up the Dalek ship, there's still going to be SAS Daleks in the skies. Is she the only person who didn't think this could happen? And then her plan from there is to distract the Daleks with the dummy TARDIS, which, by the way, it makes no sense as to why the Daleks don't just open fire on her immediately, before basically sticking a middle finger up at them and goading them to fly inside, do a little valiant speech as a hologram for the Doctor's Greatest Speeches playlist, before imploding the TARDIS and sending it into the void. This utter chaos and clunkiness of this plot resolution is one of my most hated ever in the new series. This is Angels Take Manhattan levels. What was she thinking? You know those super deadly enemies of mine? Let's get even superior, deadlier enemies to kill the first ones, and then hopefully I can persuade the superior, deadlier ones to chase me into the TARDIS like seagulls chasing a bag of fucking chips, and then origami them to death with space powers. Wow. This plot wasn't convoluted, it was just a bit silly and was scattered full of rushed character elements. Narrative threads were here, there, and everywhere. Jodie has an impressive beginning acting-wise with some more serious, moody scenes in the jail before she just slips right back into her, oh, there's so much going on. What are we talking about again? Oh, yes, that's it. Wait, no. Is it? Right, yeah. Persona again. I am hopeful for Yaz to improve in Series 13. I do hope Jodie gets some more serious material to work with. Not thinking too much for the John Bishop thing, but who knows. Overall, the current era of the show is still stuck in its ways from the last two series. Viewership and critical response are still low despite some slight improvements, but things desperately need a proper shake-up to get the show back on the right path. Even the Timeless Children twist discussion here says, it's alright, things change. New can be scary, but everything will be alright. And I sit here thinking, will it? What do you think of Revolution of the Daleks? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Connor, signing off from Unleash the Ghouls, and I will see you in the future.